What's good? What's good, YouTube? Stormybman, and I am back. Welcome to Sunday Night Speak. What's good? What's good, brothers? What's good? Sheldon Holmes, what's good with you? 88 Sports Talk, salute to you, brother. As I was saying, I almost forgot to turn the music off again. Dark Truth said, man, that beat is hitting hard. You like that, Dark Truth? Yeah, it was a little funky, you know. Stormybman liked that one, you know. It shake straight out of your shoes. That funk right there. And that ain't because you get your feet dirty. That's because, you know, your feet get sweaty from them moves to that rhythm. You know what I mean? I want to welcome you guys. I want to welcome you to my Sunday Night Speak because I wasn't able to do any post-fight coverage or anything like that from last night. I had to get up and hit the grind early this morning, so I'm here to talk a little bit about, you know, some of the fights from last night, yesterday, and I want to kind of give some of my thoughts on what we witnessed yesterday, because I'm seeing more and more of some of the points that I have been stressing about some of these young fighters not being equipped to fully take on what they should be expecting at the championship level. It's one thing to get up there and stake a claim to a title, but it's another thing to carry yourself as a champion. And I'm not even talking about outside of the ring. I'm talking about in the ring. Champions being seasoned enough to know how to deal with hardships, trials, tests that arise when you're in that ring and you're defending. So we could talk about that a little bit. I want to say that as I came out of these fights this weekend, some of them I saw, the majority of the fights. The others I caught highlights and haven't been able to watch the complete fight because my streaming was down, wasn't working right and whatnot. But, you know, so be it. But it's nice hearing everyone else's take as I come in late in the day to speak my piece, because I find some of the comments very interesting. Some people who had fights going one way or another, you know, and people talking about eating crow, and people talking about they knew something was going to go a certain kind of way and this and that. But I am pleased with my assessment of this weekend's affairs because I had spoken about them in pre-fight videos, also on my Friday night chop session. As I've stated a couple of times before, Y'all gonna learn to listen to Stormy B, man. Just cause this little chubby round face here is on there talking, it don't mean I'm just blowing smoke. Okay? I don't even smoke. Alright? I'll eat a cheeseburger in a minute, but I ain't gonna smoke and I ain't gonna do no dope. So I'm gonna tell you the real. You know? So sooner or later, when you stop hating and stop putting your grudges out there, push them to the side, and you can come on over here and talk with Stormy B, man, and we can see these fights for what they really are. You know what I mean? And then you can serve somebody else some crow. Get that platter ready, you know, and that lemon pepper seasoning. Huh? That's what you can do. Sheldon Holmes says, absolutely. PK Boxing and MMA is out there. He says, salute coach, 100, LDBC. What's going on, PK? You've been running from me, man. I'm going to have to grab you, man. Get that lasso, put it around that ankle, and pull you in on that Friday night chop session, brother. You can't run forever. We're going to get you on there. E. Woodson is out there. He says, Shy City OG, salute. That's right, E. Woodson. Chi-Town, stand up. And I'm glad to see you out there tonight, this evening, brother. I found these fights. Let's start with one of the fights that I was able to see in its entirety. The Erickson Lubin, Nathaniel Gallimore fight. I found this to be an interesting match. I expected Lubin to prevail in this fight. Wasn't certain about what type of challenges Gallimore would present. But I did feel that he was going to be awkward to some degree. For some, I didn't speak about that in the videos, but I just had this kind of feeling because, you know, Lubin, prior to his loss to Charlo, was on a fast track, and I keep saying that, but he was on a fast track toward a title shot, and he went after opponents with a more seek and destroy type of disposition, but he's more calculating right now, and it could be observed from the outside as being apprehensive or hesitant, but I don't look at that way at all, because I saw his nature before he lost, and that wasn't there like that, which means that he is learning some things as he's rebuilding his career and coming back from his loss. And you can always appreciate when a fighter makes adjustments, whether it's adjustments on the fly, adjustment between fights, even adjustments between rounds of a match. And I think that Lubin is growing in that regard. As we watched this fight, Gallimore got to a point where he was kind of goofing around a little bit. But what that told me was he was not in any position to win. He just wanted to bluff his way through and survive to the final bell. And he was fortunate enough to go through a situation where Lubin was not trying to knock him out. Lubin was trying to secure the victory by being sharp, being aware and alert, being precise with his shots, also setting certain shots up, and taking full advantage of all the mistakes that Gallimore was making. Marked improvement. Salute to Erickson Lubin for that, because in a fight where in the later portions of the fight he could have been hard pressed trying to knock the guy out, and I'm glad he didn't go for that, because it's not always about getting the knockout, but it's about securing the victory. And he did that. He put in the efforts, and he was able to separate himself from his opponent in such a manner that it was no contest. That's the mark of improvement, and I would like to see him continue with his career in that manner. There will be opportunities for knockouts because just as this guy, Gallimore, played around and was a little bit goofy at points, there are other fighters who will try to come at Lubin, and then they'll give Lubin his chances and opportunities. Otherwise, you just go about your work and see what opens up. Smart fighter. Hats off to Erickson Lubin. Salute to him for his efforts. I'm going to take it to the chat. Let's see what we got here. Sheldon Holmes says, OG, I don't know about you, but to me, the Stevenson-Gonzalez fight was a disappointment. Shakur boxed well, but didn't engage enough. Yeah, I was going to make some comments about that because although I haven't had a chance to watch the Shakur Stevenson fight yet, I listened to the call on the fight. And there were signs during the call, of which I overheard, that Shakur could have taken some chances and went after this gentleman a little more and things like that. But I do believe the event got to him a little bit. And I do believe also there was some trepidation because, you know, he was challenging for this title. And he didn't want to make any mistakes. He was being safety first. Forgive me, family. I'm yawning now that I've gone on your air, but I'm not sleepy, and I wasn't yawning before I went live. He was trying to be safety first, and he's lucky that his opponent didn't have power that would have been able to shake him, because the power, let's just say like in the fight that we watched with Beterbiev and Vasquez, okay, Vasquez was trying to box, and he's a decent boxer, but Beterbiev was able to place shots at certain moments in the fight that put Vasquez in a more defensive mode and panic mode, worried about what was coming at him. And the next thing you know, his energy was being sapped and everything. He was moving a little more than he wanted to, maybe even more than what was necessary. And the shots were landing in good places in the body. Shakur is going to face this. He may not have faced that Saturday night, but now that he has a title, there are going to be fighters who gun for him. And yes, he has very good feet, good lateral movement. He has speed of foot. But when you've got a guy in there bearing down on you, punching you to the body, banging you good, and looking to cut that ring off, okay, you're going to have to be able to do something else besides just move. And too much movement can help expend your stamina. Okay? And it's also mentally distressing. Okay? Because then you start thinking, oh, I got to move. Oh, he's going to hit me. I got to get over here. Let me turn. You know, instead of being spontaneous. And it's hard to be spontaneous in that regard when that power is bearing down on you. So that's something that they're going to have to watch for. And his next few fights are going to have to be careful matchups because he's still very green. Although he is an exciting prospect, I feel that he's a lot more green than a couple of his contemporaries like Tank Davis, B-Hop, Tehran Enos, and Devin Haney. You know, I think that he's a lot more green than them, but he may have he may have an upside that is second to Haney, you know. And I say second to Haney because his physical maturation is on a slower path. I see Haney probably being at 147 eventually because the kid is strong and everything where he is now, but he's still young and he's growing. Shakur can be in the same, but let's just see how serious he takes himself now, being a champion. Okay. So Iceberg Nerd is in the building. Joseph Brown is in there. He says, "Salute Stormybman." And E. Woodson says he's got one more hour at work. All right, E. Woodson, let's finish up strong. Smash that like button while you're out there, people. Smash the like button, please. And 89 TV says salute. 88 Sports Talk says salute, fam. And at E. Woodson, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens, my brother is out there. He says salute, OG. Salute to you, brother. Sheldon Holmes says, I wouldn't put him in with Gary Russell Jr. right now if he was my fighter. No way, Jose. Better stay away from Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. is a dangerous fighter right now. And the reason that Gary Russell is dangerous is Gary is now interested in legacy. He wants names on his dossier, and there are some dance partners that haven't cooperated. You know, Santa Cruz definitely hasn't cooperated. The Framptons and those guys, they haven't cooperated. You know, Lomachenko has run away. And so now Gary is going to be left to pick up the pieces, so to speak. And he's going to be headhunting. So, yeah, they better stay away from him right now. Okay? And he has the type of experience that could exploit the youthfulness and inexperience of a Shakur at this time. So that is a formidable challenge for him. As I had said before going into this weekend's matches, I would have liked to see Shakur have about 6 to 8 more fights before challenging for that title. And that 6 to 8 fights should have been a combination of various type opponents. And that's how I feel about that. Sheldon Holmes is greeting Reggie Owens. Reggie is saluting at Sheldon. And Joseph Brown says he's no longer a prospect. He's a champion now. That's right. It's time to pee standing up now. Huh? No more potty. Huh? You got to stand up. And you got to shake it. Huh? Big boys. So, but we'll see what happens with Shakur because he has fast hands, he has fast feet, good lateral movement. We don't know about him being able to take a punch yet, though, do we? See? Now, that is an aspect of things that will, really tell you some things. Because we're not talking about looking to see him get knocked out or anything. But, when a guy can punch, you want to know that your guy can react to a punch. He don't have to not be knocked out, but be able to withstand something coming back at him. It's important. Joseph Brown says, Farmington, I guess you're trying to say Frampton, and Santa Cruz, and from the Duck Dynasty family. Yeah, man, that's, hey, it's across the board right now. We all know who's ducking. We all know who is trying to hang on to things and stay relative. We know that. That's why we don't have to continue to bring them up. But let's uphold these guys who we need to promote and talk about. But not without stating the obvious, which is there are fighters that he could face and still be in good standing, and then there are fighters that you definitely don't want him to see at this particular time. You know, a guy like a Gary Russell Jr., I say Shakur should be 2 years away from him. And that's 2 years of if he could fight 3 times a year at least, because now he's a champion, they're probably going to pull his activity rate back, which they do to these guys. I don't know why. He could be active. You know, Farmer is very active, you know, and when you're active like that, your reflexes, your timing gets to a point of excellence, and you can, even in tough fights, you can make it through because your conditioning is strong. Mental conditioning and physical conditioning. Joseph Brown says, I like him in that Gary Russell matchup. I want to see him fight him because those other 2 champions aren't going to step up to make the fight. Well, I don't think Devin Haney would have a problem fighting Gary Russell. I really don't. And Tank Davis is probably the most dangerous because Tank might be able to knock guys out with single shots, or at least, you know, combination of shots. And Tank is the kind of guy you got to be prepared for him, because he could hurt a guy. He really can, for his size and everything, which is something that I would like to see. I wish they would kind of take those training wheels off of Tank, because he's the one that could go out there and end things. He's the one that has to fight better competition to give him the rounds, because we know he could turn the lights out. Huh? Dude, I think he got a job with ComEd. He be turning lights out left and right on people. Tank Davis, you know? So I would like to see that happen. Sheldon Holmes says, OG, when it comes to the Prograis Taylor fight, I felt that Taylor's grit was the difference in that fight. Great segue, Sheldon, because I was kind of going to go into that next anyhow. But it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I have something to say about that. Pardon my drinking water here, fellas. Josh Taylor fighting at home in front of a bipartisan crowd. Regis Prograis on the road in the biggest fight of his life, and for a unification match. Who should be most comfortable? As the Jeopardy soundtrack plays and I figure this out. Let me just tell you, when I spoke about that fight on the Friday night chop session and in my video leading up to the fight, I said Josh Taylor should be favored, and that if he found a way to go from bell to bell, 1 to 12, and stand up, he would win. That's what I said. You could go back and listen to the video. In order for Prograis to win that fight, I suggested that the way he fights, and he's another one of those guys that keeps his hands very low and everything. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I wish we could have special camps to put these low hand carrying fighters in, that they would have to spend 8 to 10 weeks of their lives in these camps and be brutally beaten, you know, if they don't keep their hands up. I said that Prograis needed to come outside of himself to win this fight. He's going to have to do some things that he normally doesn't do. I said he was going to have to put the pressure on Taylor in a manner of, I'm coming to get your ass. And he didn't have to do it for the whole fight, but there should be moments in the rounds where he tells him, this is my round. I'm taking this round from you. In other words, he was going to have to fight like a challenger, even though he was another champion. And he was going to have to look to have decisive winning rounds against this guy, because he was fighting in his backyard, and he's fighting on unfamiliar grounds and territory where they may not give him the benefit of the doubt, where he would have to do some things to make them open their eyes, so to speak. Okay? And forget the fact that he's been a part of the tournament, but you're fighting their guy. You got to whoop their guy's ass. It can't be close. It can't be nearly just about had it. It has to be decisive. Put his ass down a couple of times, on the inside, dog him, put hands on him, back him up. From what I understand, as I saw some of the highlights, Taylor was backing him up, snapping his head back with shots. And his hands was fucking still low. As I Googled the photograph images from the fight, I saw his head being snapped back on multiple occasions, and I didn't hardly see any shots like that of Josh Taylor. Now, I know that could be angled as well because they didn't just take pictures of Taylor, but why is it most of the shots that I saw was Regis getting tagged? I don't know, man. And it's a shame to see guys go over to other countries and lose their titles without selling out, without letting it all hang out. And then when the fight was over, I heard him credit Taylor, saying the better man won tonight. Well, the way I feel about that, you're a champion too. If the fight was close, why not say, let's run that back? I think I could get him next time. But what's even worse than that was this. The way you talked at the press conferences, you talk like you had the confidence of someone who could go in there and do what was necessary. But you didn't fight like you spoke. And so therefore, there is a disconnect because you don't actually understand what it's going to take to win on foreign soil. And you don't understand what it's going to take for someone to consider giving you a decision where you don't appear to sell out, to lay it on the line. If he knocked you out, Regis, that's a decisive victory for him. And kudos to him for that. Then you could say, he's the better guy, he caught me. But when you stand there and the final bell has rung, and you look like you still got wind, you look like you still can go a round or two, why didn't you leave more in that ring? What happened to you during those middle rounds? See, you guys, I'm telling you, you modern fighters, you have it all wrong, man. Fights are not won with bravado and talk and bolstering and prancing and all of that. Fights are won in the ring, man, with you putting the leather on that other guy's ass. When you beat him up, you beat him down, you put him down. That's where fights are won. Being outpointed and falling flat because your conditioning is not where it needs to be and you ain't got enough to go the distance and all of that, that's your damn fault. Joseph Brown says, Regis didn't fight the style I expected. Taylor fought the fight I thought Regis was going to fight. Taylor did better work on the inside in the exchanges. His pressure and size he imposed on Regis. That's what I'm hearing, Joseph Brown. That's exactly what I'm hearing. And I can't wait to watch it in its entirety for myself. But it wouldn't surprise me that Regis, once he got in there and maybe Taylor touched him a couple of times, it might have psychologically played a factor on him. He might have said, damn, this white guy can hit. Huh? Because he may have believed something else. But the guy's a champion. You see? But you were a champion. Act like it. Don't be so damn wussified and then so, conceding. Oh, the better man won. You could have been the better man had you brought more dog out of yourself. Huh? Now you're going to come back home and get mad at people in your own country that look like you and everything because you didn't do your best. And you could say, oh, I did do my best. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You may think you have. And the people that were in your corner may have even said you did good, but you didn't. You wasn't dead tired. Your tongue wasn't hanging out your mouth. Your mouthpiece wasn't falling out. You didn't look like you was about to fall down anywhere. Huh? That's selling out. That's what's giving it till you ain't got nothing left to give. Otherwise, sit your ass on the sidelines like in the audience and watch someone else get the job done. Because it's going to happen. Taylor's a good fighter, but he ain't all that. He ain't. And as soon as he can get in there with somebody who has the same mentality and skill level or whatever, they'll show him. Because obviously you weren't up to task. Now, some people might feel like that's a hard criticism or whatever, but so be it. It's a damn championship fight. Did you see Showtime Sean Porter, the way he performed against Earl Spence? And did you see Earl Spence, the way he performed against Showtime Sean Porter? That was a unification match between two world champions, one being a two-time world champion. And they both would not be denied. Even when Earl hit Sean with a knockout punch, Sean barely went down. Glove barely grazed the canvas. And he stood up and said, come on. We ain't finished here yet. That's selling out, bro. That's what I'm talking about. It's a championship fight. What, you gonna sell out against guys who don't belong in the ring with you? Guys who, as soon as you blow at them hard, they gonna wither and fall down? Nah, man. Unacceptable, bro. Unacceptable. Sheldon Holmes says, I believe most fight fans give swing rounds to the fighter they are rooting for. And it wasn't a robbery. Regis smashed the gas too late. If he would have started in round 9 instead of the 11th, result may have been different. If were a fifth. ... Sheldon says Regis mentally in the ring was happy to be in there instead of I'm ready to die in this motherfucker. Yeah. And you don't have to have the mindset that I'm ready to die. I like to say sell out. I like to say give it all you got, leave it all in the ring, because we're not hoping for deaths in the ring. We're not. But we're hoping that guys put so much of their give into the match that it makes a difference in their performance and the result. That's what we ask of them. That's what we ask of them. We never ask them to give their lives. We never, ever, ever should we do that. Joseph Brown says Danny Jacobs reincarnated almost, but not quite. Well, I really have to take a gaze at it then if it's that bad, because Danny Jacobs, he might as well have been a mannequin when he was in there with Canelo. Huh? Sheldon Holmes says, see, OG, that ready to lay it on the line mentality was the shit I seen back in the day on Tuesday night fights in Philly at the Blue Horizon. Absolutely. Where men gave as good as they got and wanted to give even more. And the thing about that was you saw great fights, but also those fighters who came out of those fights knew that when they had their next fight, win, lose, or draw, from the fight that they're coming out of, they had to be in some damn shape back out there coming again. And then they were going to try to best themselves the next time out. That next opponent. That's the difference. These guys today, they fight like, it ain't no big thing. Huh? It ain't no big thing. Well, if it ain't no damn big thing, what the hell you doing out there? Go sit your ass down somewhere. You don't play boxing. You can play a ton of sports, but boxing ain't one of them. It ain't nothing playful about getting punched in the fucking face. Or in the fucking liver. Or the solar plexus. Or the rib cage. Sheldon Holmes says, at Joseph Brown, agreed. The Boxing King says, Stormy, the reply is on all the best fights on Google. When you say the Boxing King, when you say the reply to what, bro? Because I'm missing. I don't know specifically what you're speaking of. So just put that in the chat for me. Says we got 11 likes. Please smash that like button if you're out there listening. Joseph Brown says, it ain't that bad, Stormy B. I'm speaking more to his mentality after the fight. I can't stand it. No, Joseph Brown, don't separate the two. His mentality after the fight is the reason he didn't win the fight during the fight. Don't you understand? Psychologically, man, he wasn't up to snuff. That's why he couldn't compete to do the things that were necessary, and that's why he was on the losing end. End of story. That's it. You don't give concessions and pats on the back and on the ass and tell a guy, oh, we'll get him next time, champ. Huh? In boxing, there might not ever fucking be a next time. You feel a whole hell of a lot better if you go home the victor. Now, trying to be a good sportsman and shit like that, shake the hand, congratulate the guy, fucking move on. All that, he was the best guy tonight and all of that. Well, what the hell were you in there for? You could have, people thought he was the best guy on the damn paper. Huh? People thought you was the best guy on paper. You let him down. You let yourself down first. Because you had the wrong fucking mentality in there. Taylor had the people cheering for him. You were supposed to find a place. Your trainers and coaches were supposed to tell you, you got to talk to yourself. You got to have a conversation with yourself. You got to root for yourself. You got to know that everybody in here is freaking against you. And you're going to prove them all wrong. You're going to take this boy's dinner and they're going to be crying when you walk out the ring with both belts and the trophy. And they're going to be mad at you. You went out of there like that, and they said, oh, Prograis showed great sportsmanship, pat you on the head like you're a fucking dog, and push you to the side, and the next time they hear of you and they talk about your name, you're going to be, oh yeah, the guy that everybody was talking about, that Taylor kicked his ass. Mm-hmm. It's going to go from him winning a decision over you that he banged your ass from pillar to post and everything. Even though that may not have what happened. But that's what you put yourself in a position for. See, this is when you go into the fights with the wrong mentality. And you come out like that. You ain't ready to be a champion. You probably shouldn't have had the championship belt you had. But because this was a tournament, they had no options but to give you one. Huh? Also ran. A trinket. You competed. Huh? They just gonna push your ass to the side now. You done, nigga. Go sit down. Huh? Sheldon Holmes says, OG, I just felt like Regis had more to give. And moving forward, if he moves up Stimper competition, he'll be fooled. He was fooled last night, wasn't he? Huh? Sheldon Holmes. He was fooled. Huh? And he did have more to give. But he couldn't get outside of himself. He got in his own damn way. That's a mental adjustment that has to be made. And he couldn't do that. Sheldon says, at Joseph Brown, that turned me off. The Boxing King says, the replay of the fight is on all the best fights. Sorry. Okay. Thanks for that, Boxing King. I can check that out. Joseph Brown says, I got you, Stormy B. You correct on that. You're damn right I'm correct on that. As a coach, that's what, you know, it's not our job to pat you on the ass. We're trying to build you up. Put wood in the oven to burn. We're trying to give you the coals, okay, to keep you hot, to keep you fierce, to keep you ready to face what's on the other side. You think his corner men aren't doing that? We ain't got time to play ring around the freaking rosy, man. This is boxing here. You got to get out there, man. Because if you don't do it, somebody else going to do it. And he going to do it to you. All that talk, tough talk. That's why they say empty cans rattle the loudest. All that, you ain't got to do that, man. Just be in there on fight night ready to hit that dude in the mouth. For every word he say, you put a punch in his mouth. Or upside his head. Or up in his body. Where was that at? All that with your hands low and dipping with your head like this and everything. That ain't even head movement. You just being lazy. Huh? And the guy's hitting you, sticking you. Fuck out of here with that. Then he bullying you, pushing you backwards. Huh? You don't even know how to step around the guy. Give an angle, get your shot off, step around the other side, make him reset. Where's all of that technique at? Huh? You ain't learned it because you've been knocking out all these guys who don't even belong in the ring with you. They don't have much to bring, but you had more than them. No, man. No. Gigi is out there. He says, do you think the gap in mentality of the fighters today is a bigger indicator of the outcome than in the past? Gigi, it plays a more significant role than anyone would currently want to admit to. Fighters who have the proper mindset don't have the problems that Regis endured. Look at Deontay Wilder. There you go. For anyone that wants to say that, like Scarface talks about Deontay, he does everything wrong. He doesn't get his hands up. He doesn't punch with the right proper technique, this and that. But he's a freaking winner. And it starts with his confidence, the courage and conviction that he has within himself that makes him who he is. Then he has a hell of a trainer in Mark Breland and those other people that work within his camp. And they have him ready to go out there and get the job done. And plus, he relishes taking off the other guy's cap. Huh? He's a fighter. Sometimes when you're a fighter and you get hit a damn good shot, because you're that fighter, that damn good shot is just a good shot. Huh? A shot that may have put other guys down. May have even put other guys out. Or put guys on Queer Street. But to you, it give you a little buzz. Because you still thinking about hitting him with yours. That's a damn good fighter. Huh? Not a guy that's going to sit up there and say, well, you know, thanks to everybody, he was the better man. The fuck out of here. Nah, man. Nah. Sheldon Holmes says, take and pick with him after the fight like y'all new besties and shit. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I keep telling this story. After the super fight back in 1970, when Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali fought their famous fight, the first fight, Ali was walking to the dressing room. His jaw was swollen like a grapefruit. And the press was talking, they were following him, and they were asking him, Ali, you said that if Joe Frazier beat you, you would get down on all fours and crawl across the ring, look up at him and say, you are the greatest, and crawl out the ring and catch the next plane out of the country. Ali said, I lied. Okay? And in the midst of his jaw being swollen, like it was, they asked him, they said, hey, Ali, you probably don't want to go through that again, huh? Ali said, oh, how wrong you are. Give me 6 months and I'll see Joe Frazier in 6 months. After a 15-round grueling fight with Joe Frazier where he was knocked on his ass in the 14th, stayed down to the count of, at the count of 3, he was on his feet. So he didn't stay down till 3. He was on the count of 3, he was standing up looking at the ref and looking across the ring at Frazier like, let's go. After all of that, he wanted Joe right back. Right back. That's a damn fighter. That's a damn warrior. You ain't conceding nothing. Ali would walk the country and give seminars and everything and say, I am the champion of the world. That man is a pretender. He's not the real champion. And he believed that. And he fought like it. What are these guys today fighting for? Money? Well, you know, if they're just fighting for money, do you know once they touch some money, that basically all the fight can go away from them, because as soon as they could buy a car that they want, a home that they want, something for their woman and their mama, it's over. You got to find reasons to keep it up, to keep going. You got silk pajamas for all the bedrooms you got in every bed, huh? And for every night of the week, huh? But you got no reason to keep getting in the ring. Huh? You have no conviction as to why should I keep doing this? Why should I keep getting punched in the face is what you say. That's even the wrong fucking mentality. Because you ain't supposed to be getting punched in the face. You supposed to be doing the fucking punching in the face. Huh? That's the wrong mentality. Get your shit together. You ain't no damn champion thinking like that. And if somebody got to motivate you, you've already lost. In the wild, the lions, when they hunt and they kill, they eat. But if what they kill happens to be over in the distance, they're going to go kill that one too. That's just surplus, huh? So if you thinking that's a lion over there eating on a deer, while he eating there, I could cross the field. That lion gonna be on your ass, and you gonna be dessert number 2. That's a lion. That's what it's about. Ain't this the LDBC, the Lions Den boxing community? I'm putting it down to you real, huh? Listen to what I'm fucking telling you. But no, you don't want to listen to Stormy, because Stormy just over there, OG. He just talking boxing. He just talking. don't know what he talking about. Them fighters don't know what the fuck they doing out there in that ring. That's why they getting upset. That's why they getting disappointed coming out of fights. I was robbed. I ain't see no gun. Ain't nobody had no mask on. It wasn't no stick-up man. Didn't you have what Marvin Hagler said he had? Judge and juror right there in your midst. Put them to work. Huh? If you didn't stand up in the gym all day talking on your cell phone to your Instagram bunnies and all of that, maybe you could get something done. Derek McGee is out there. He says, salute family. E. Wilson says, yeah. Good point, OG. King Louis is out there. He says, salute, OG. Salute to you, King Louis. Macadam 1 says, exactly, OG. It's all a money grab. Not many legendary fighters, if any, nowadays. And Gigi says, the fighter makes the belt don't make the fighter. And if there's a fighter out there who is worthless, what is he and the belt worth? Answer that one. Let me tell you something. Robert Easter and Adrian Granados. You know, Adrian Granados, man, fighting out of Chicago, man. That guy there, I wish he had a little bit more power. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. He's always going to be in the thick of a fight until someone is superiorly stronger than him or punches harder. But damned if he didn't give an effort. Damned if Robert Easter Jr. didn't give an effort. Those two guys fought in a phone booth. They fought like somebody owed somebody $5, for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good fight. A very good fight. I think they had said after like the 6th, 7th round, they had already thrown 1,000 punches or more. You know, this is what people pay to see. Now, this is what I'll say about Robert Easter Jr. You can't fight everybody at 147 like that, bro. Can't fight everybody like that. Because you're going to get your ass whooped. Knocked out. You're going to have to get back to the basics. Like I said in my pre-fight breakdown video. You're going to have to get back to boxing. Sticking. Moving. And that doesn't mean moving around like in a circle and, you know, but sticking, giving angles. Shooting off of the angles. Keeping your good tight defense. Keeping your hands up. Stop trying to do that shoulder roll bullshit. Keep that left high. Keep it half extended out there so when you shoot that jab out, you can make a guy run into it. Watch some Tommy Hearns films. Watch some Tommy Hearn films. Robert Easter. Learn how to set down on your punches and throw them with accuracy and proper snap. Turn those punches over. I know you like it in close, but learn how to fight from a distance, brother. Learn how to make people run into shots. Because when you make them reach, you can pick their pockets. That's how you have to do that. But hats off to you for a great, entertaining match. That's what it was. And you won. But you can't fight them all like that, brother. Your career will be very short trying to fight like that with everyone. This is why I said you need to utilize the physical attributes that the good man upstairs gave you. You got nice reach. You got a wiry frame. If you learn how to punch with snap, keep guys at the end of your shots, tie them up on the inside, move, keep your matches in the center of the ring. The keys to your success, Robert Easter Jr., if you're listening, okay? Stormybman will never tell you nothing wrong, brother, when it comes to this boxing thing. I know what I'm talking about. Keep that jab in their face. If you throw 30 to 35 jabs around, you win the round. Especially at least if 50% of them, 48% of them land. Huh? They could be to the head. They could be to the chest. They could be to the pit of the stomach. Huh? You jab up high at the top of the forehead. They get tired of their head going back like that because it pushed their chin up where you could drop the right hand. They're going to start getting under that. Then you drop the right hand down low over the top. Huh? That's what strategy, Robert Easter. That's what you do, bro. See, you guys been watching Floyd Mayweather and all that, man. There's plenty other fighters out there that were here before Floyd Mayweather Jr. That shoulder roll bullshit, just as Joseph Brown said, these dudes need to retire that shit. Lala D is out there. She says, Stormy, what's going on with you, Sister Lala D? Good to see you in my chat, sister. Long time. Stick around a while. Stormy is dropping some heat here. Okay? Good to see you. Wookie Wook says, I just been listening. I'm still at work, but salute, Stormy. Wookie Wook, my man, how you doing? Good to see you. Don't work too hard, you know. But I'm just saying, Robert Easter, he showed me something in this fight. I don't know what the hell that Bartholomew fight was, man. That shit right there, they should burn all the tapes of that fight. Because Robert looked like crap and Bartholomew looked like crap in that fight. But he redeemed himself against Granados. Now, granted, like I said earlier, Granados doesn't have a big punch. If Granados had a big punch, then Robert Easter may have found himself in some trouble. But it was a great fight for him to get his feet wet against a guy who could actually give him action. And that's what he needed. And he gave as good as he got, but he was superior in the department of controlling the tempo of the fight, which is why I said he needs to get back to the boxing basics, because if he gets back to the boxing basics and masters that jab, he'll be just fine. Some people say he fights at a certain level and he doesn't have another gear. But if he gets better with his jab, everything else can follow behind that. That is significant. If it were not true, I would not say it to you. If I didn't have proof by all of these guys in history who had great jabs, I could not prove it to you. But listen, my brother, even if your trainers are not telling you this, you could come here to the Stormybman channel, Robert Easter Jr., and I'm going to give it to you straight. Huh? Use your jab, brother. Use that jab. Snap that jab. Huh? Hustler Slim says, I'm in here, Stormy B, man. Been listening. Thanks, Hustler Slim. I'm glad you're out there, bro. Lala D says, or, as Blood calls it, that stinking ass shoulder roll. Absolutely, Lala D. That I wish, I mean, I don't even know. I can't tell you who was doing it before Floyd came on the scene, because it just wasn't that popular. But it's a tactical defensive maneuver. It's not meant to fight with your defensive posture and the shoulder roll, technique. That's a straight jab, but get straight to that. If you think it's going to come off, hook off the jab. Looping right hands over the top. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, go watch the film of Sugar Ray Leonard whooping Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s dad's ass. Floyd Mayweather Sr. Sugar Ray Leonard beat the shit out of him. He still want to fight Sugar Ray Leonard to this day because he got his butt whooped. He said he had a bad hand and everything. But his shoulders was okay. Huh? That's where he was getting hit all upside the head and over the top and everything. Come on, man. That's a defensive posture technique. It's not a defensive mode. It's not what you're supposed to do. Your natural defense is supposed to be Your left guard up like this and your right hand by your chin. In front of your chin or on the side. But right there. Lala D says, that fight was embarrassing for Easter. The Bartholomew fight. Yes, it was, sister. I just said they should burn all the tapes of that fight and never show them to public again. Never for public consumption. Ever again. Joseph Brown is saluting Lala D. Lala D says, and Bartholomew is an embarrassment to Cuban boxers. Absolutely. He should never be asked to fight on television again. Only off of TV where people sitting in the audience where he may be, only they can burn and want to poke out their eyes watching him fight. Huh? Lala D says, oh, I forgot the boxer's name, the one they say originated it. Gigi says that Lala D, remember when Berto tried that shit? It cost him the fight. I'm telling you, man, that's the worst thing you could try to do. That's like somebody trying to keep their hands low like Roy Jones Jr. You're going to get knocked the fuck out. You're going to get knocked out. Shit. Joseph Brown says, exactly. I saw that fight too. Beat the brakes off of Senior. Yeah, he beat him up, man. Bang him all behind the head and everything. He finally put them gloves up like this. Joseph Brown trying to protect, but it was too late. Sugar Ray had broke him down already. Huh? That shoulder roll shit. Trying to be cute with that. Sugar Ray gave him something. Gave him a whole lot. Lala D says, GG, yes. I have a not so proud confession to make. I saw that fight live. Lala D, I swear sometimes you come into the chat and you just have some gems that make people crack up. Oh, man. E. Wilson says, burn all the tapes. I said, yeah. Yes, sir, E. Wilson. You know me, man. Stormy gonna say it straight. I ain't gonna listen. I don't even drink. Could you imagine if I drank and I'd be talking crap up here too? Oh, man. Y'all probably have to turn the audio off. Shit. If some ain't trying to do it already. Yeah, Sheldon Holmes says they better not ever think about running that BS back. You ain't never lied, man. You ain't never lied. They better not ever, ever, never talk about running that one back, boy. Because that was some crap right there. That Bartholomew dude, man. I thought I was, man, what the hell was that? The Road Runner and Wile E. Coyote, whatever. I don't know. Shh. Trey X says, salute, Stormy. What's going on with you, Trey X? What's happening with you, bro? Good to see you out there. So, Joseph Brown says, Roy Jones trained the dudes to get knocked out. Just as Devin Alexander. Yeah. And Jean Pascal. He had Jean Pascal trying to fight like him against Kovalev. I'm like, he was supposed to tell Jean Pascal, I don't care if Roy fought throwing check hooks and stuff like that. That's why I say Roy was a great fighter, Hall of Fame fighter. But as a trainer, a lot to be desired. He was supposed to tell John Pascal, you got faster hands than Kovalev. Keep your hands up here, up front, okay? And when Kovalev look like he gonna do something, run off 2 or 3, okay? For every one punch he throw, you throw 2 or 3. If he throw 2 or 3, you throw 4 or 5, huh? Because Kovalev don't react well to shots being punched back at him. Because he at that time, let's just say, during that fight when he was fighting Pascal, he was dominating people so much that he was accustomed to hunting them down and wasn't worried about what was coming back. There you go. Come on, man. This is like, they call it a sweet science, but you know what? It's some bitter instructors out there. Bitter. You understand? Lala D is laughing. E. Woodson says, Chi-Town OG. Lala D says, and what made it so bad, Bartholomew was flexing hard. Yeah. You know, like, look at me. Ain't I a badass? Yeah, you pretty bad, you ass. Joseph Brown says, Trey X, I knew it, but I had to stay the course with Regis. E. Wilson says, Joe, you a fool for that one. Sheldon Holmes says, that fight make MF say, fuck boxing. Pretty much, man. Trey X says, Joseph Brown, I went back and watched it again. Regis got whooped. Hey, Trey, I haven't really seen it yet, only highlights. But I'm going to tell you this, Trey. Just from the highlights I saw, the guy was getting backed up. He had his hands low. He was taking shots clean. And he wasn't busy enough. He didn't look to be the aggressor. He didn't try to do and bang on the inside and put the guy backing up himself. He didn't put nothing on his ass that would get him in life-threatening situation, put him on the canvas or something like that. He didn't do any of that. And then at the end of the fight, he says to the audience, the better man won. So what the fuck were you doing in there? What were you doing in there? Because you sure fought like you wasn't the better man. And someone in the chat earlier was questioning Trey. They said, well, you know, that post-fight mentality is what I hated. And I said, that post-fight mentality was the same mentality. Don't separate the two. That's why he didn't win the fucking fight. He didn't have the right mentality during the fight, during the rounds. When the fuck you gonna get a fire in your belly, bro? That's it. Lala D is laughing. Sheldon Holmes is at GG laughing. Trey X says, Joseph Brown, now we got to see what's up with Canelo and Kovalev this weekend. Who you got? Yeah, that's right. That fight is coming up, ain't it? I might have to even order DAZN to see it because I wasn't able to see this week's fights because my streaming wasn't acting right. But, yeah. Man, all I'm saying is when these fighters get a whiff of what boxing technique is about, working on these gyms in the gym, they'll put themselves in better standings toward winning. They could be better. They could perform better. They could perform at a better level. But these guys, they're not trying to do that, man. They're not trying to do that. Smash that like button, people. It seems like I got 18 likes. Can I get 20, please? 20 is the magic number for Stormy B, man. I would love to have at least a minimum of 20 likes before I end the stream. Can we get that like up to 20? For anybody that's just out there looking, peeping through the blinds, watching from the bushes like Kovalev or something. You know what I'm saying? Binoculars from across the field. Driving by with tinted windows. All of that. Hit the like button. There we go. We got one. We got one. Can we get one more? Oh, there we go. See? All them people out there in the chat just listening and looking at me like Black Fight fans say, but won't hit the like button. Thank you so much. Is that hard? Man, thank you, y'all. Thank you. Oh, I got 22 now. Thank you. I really appreciate that, family. I really appreciate that. But no, let me go back to Robert Easter Jr. because I want to like Robert Easter Jr. as a fighter. I really do. But Robert seems to be a guy who's fighting the wrong style for himself. He has heart. You can't question that. He has ability. You can't question that. But he's in between styles. He's a guy that has length. He has reach. He's agile. Why is he trying to fight on the inside like he Joe Frazier or something? That's crazy. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Dude, stick outside. Like I said, the best thing that Robert Easter could do is watch some films of some guys like Tommy Hearns. Okay? Tommy Hearns, and who developed a hell of a left hook to the body. He could hook off that jab, hit you in the body to the liver with that left hook. If Robert Easter could look at films like that, okay? Look at guys like Mike McCallum, huh? The Body Snatcher. Those guys. Look at some film, dude, and try to adopt some of those techniques for yourself and say, wow, if I add that to my arsenal, I could be better. Huh? And remember this, Robert Easter. You could always punch to the body harder than you punch to the head. Because some of these suckers out here got heads like concrete. But the body ain't made of concrete. It's made of all soft tissues and ribs and cartilages. And it's even got some organs down there that when you lay hands on it, it hurts people, bro. And you don't have to always be up close to get those body shots in. If you jabbing and hooking off that jab to the body, boom, step around a guy, make him reset, stick that jab, get back to your place of position. Do this, bro. Study. Because I want to see well for Robert Easter. I do. I want to see well. Joseph Brown says, bang that like button. Lala D said, just did. Joseph Brown says, bet I'm still going to study on it. Trey X says, Joseph Brown, bet I'm still going to study on it. Hustler Slim says, you got it, family. Thank you very much, Hustler Slim. Gigi says, Tainted Burger versus the Predator. Smash that like button. Joseph Brown says, they're ear slutting Stormy B. Yeah, man. Wookie Wook says, my bad, my brother. He's laughing. Hustler Slim says, Stormy B, man, you looking like Pimp Jesus sitting on water instead of walking on it. There you go. Talking that talk. And Sheldon Holmes says, Danny took something out of Granados. He may have taken something out of Granados, but he didn't take that man's heart. I'll tell you that. That damn Granados, I remember when he was an amateur, man, fighting here in Chicago. I remember Granados. He might not remember me, but I remember him. And he was always like that, huh? Even in the amateurs, a little buzzsaw, huh? Lala D is laughing at Hustler Slim and says, Sheldon, yeah, Danny whipped his ass for sure. Well, look at it like this, guys and ladies. When you get knocked out, it's not always as bad as being beaten for 10, 12 rounds. Because you didn't pay your light bill, light go out, and that's that. But when you take a beating over rounds, that's not good. And your trainer keeps sending you out there knowing there's no hope. Huh? You can put your thumbs up. It ain't no hitchhiking or nothing. You just out there to be food for somebody. That's what's cruel in the sport. When that happens like that. When you get trainers who save guys on their stools, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Especially if a guy doesn't have a chance in hell of pulling the fight out. And Danny is one of those guys, he could pull a fight out in an instance. All he got to do is connect. Danny got one punch power. He does. So that's something to be said for Danny. But yeah. So, but that's what my thoughts are on this weekend's fights, brothers and sisters. You know, I thought I would come on and talk about it a little bit. I appreciate everybody that's come out there with me this evening, because you guys always make it interesting and worthwhile. We got a chance to laugh a little bit, which is always good. And be ready for, you know, this fight coming up this weekend, Canelo. You know, we're going to see what's happening with that. You know, we're going to see. But, yeah, but that's about it. I done run my gamut for the night, brothers and sisters. Stormybman gonna have to go to bed. I didn't have my 2 off days this weekend, so I got to get up for work, start this Monday off. And I ain't feeling good. I'm going to be mad because I ain't have my 2 off days. So I just want to say shout out to the LDBC. Thanks to everybody that stopped by to listen to me rant this evening and talk my little jive. And I hope to see you all again soon. Don't forget the Friday night chop session with Stormybman this coming Friday. There will be some video content to drop through the week. I dropped something today. I was going to drop another piece today, but I'll just save it for tomorrow. So be looking for Stormybman's videos too, because I be giving y'all the tips in the videos, and you don't watch my videos, and then you go out there and you be picking the wrong fighters and everything without getting the insight that I be giving you before the fight happen. If you just listen, to the videos, it's right there. It's on the page. Just look at it, man. Stormy be trying to help you out, man. So, but that's all I got for you guys this evening. I hope everybody have a wonderful night. I'm going to get on off of here. And this is Stormybman signing off. I'm going to say peace to you all.